Welcome to the Wild Wisdom Podcast with Dr. Patricia Mills. I'm Dr. Patricia. This podcast is for people who want to transform their health, restore their hormones, and reconnect to their body's natural wisdom. Hi, I'm Dr. Patricia. I'm a Canadian medical doctor, published author, internationally recognized researcher, and passionate advocate for your health. Here, we'll explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science, distilling the essence of true health into practical steps you can take. Wild wisdom is instinctive knowledge in action. Thanks for making this part of your day. Root canals can be an issue, and the reason being that when you pull out a tooth, there's an empty space that's left. Nature loves to fill empty spaces. And what happens is you can get bacteria and other organisms growing into that empty space, like finding a little home there. They can reach a tipping point where it can go from being colonized, like they live there, to infected, where they start to create problems like inflammation. And there's some research that shows that 100% of root canals are infected after a period of time. You have to have a certain imaging that's done to detect that. So it's not going to be like the X-ray in your doctor's office. It's a certain kind of CT scan that they use, like a really focal, like cone CT. It's like very, very focalized computed tomography CT scan of your jaw bone to take a look at that. And so you would get access to that kind of imaging in like a biological doctor's office who is aware of the fact that these infections can and do occur, and that these infections can and do cause health problems. And again, remember I said that the mouth is connected to the brain and to the heart and to different parts of the body. And if you look at a map of nerves, it's kind of fascinating. You have the brain, and then you have these nerves coming out of the brain, like peripheral nerves they called, and they go all the way over the skull, and then they come down into the teeth, and it's like a map of nerves, like a web of nerves all around the teeth. Kind of fascinating. And you can see how there's a direct link between the mouth and the teeth and the brain. I do believe that there will be a time when people will recognize that root canals are a source of infection and are a source of poor health. And there are ways that you can minimize that problem from happening should you need a root canal. Like some biological dentists will do like ozone therapy into that space to try and sterilize it as much as possible before they cover it, right? But even so, it needs to be monitored and checked over time. I'm not saying I have all the answers because I'm not a biological dentist, but I know enough to know that I would definitely go to one for my care. And should I ever be told that I need a root canal, I would first do everything in my power to try and heal the tooth through the appropriate diets that I spoke about, and the appropriate oral care to try and remineralize and heal and all those kinds of things. But if I actually needed one, I would go with a biological dentist, and we would do everything together in our power to prevent that from being necessary, or from looking at all the different options that are available. And if a root canal is necessary, then doing the ozone therapy to really try and sterilize that region before capping it so that it has the least likelihood of being infected. And then over time, I would always have it monitored. And if something were to pop up, I would deal with it promptly. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast, Wild Wisdom with Dr. Patricia Mills. If you like this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe, and please feel free to leave any comments and look below for the contact information if you want to connect with me directly. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night.
Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Just a reminder, this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for a professional care doctor or other qualified medical professional. This podcast is provided with the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services. If you are looking for help in your journey, it is important that you seek out a qualified health practitioner. If you would like to work with Dr. Patricia for her expert health transformation guidance, please email her at info@drpatriciamills.com to book a discovery call. You can also find Dr. Patricia on Instagram at Dr. Patricia Mills and Facebook at Wild Wisdom for Women with Dr. Patricia Mills, MD. For access to all of Dr. Patricia's educational videos and more amazing perks, consider becoming a Patreon member. Links are in the description of this episode. It is important to have an expert in your corner that can help you make the changes you crave, especially when it comes to your health.